Hello everyone! Welcome to another book talk with Livingston Parish Library. My name is Danielle, the branch manager at the Watson branch. And as you can see, I am in a totally different room than where I normally film. So I'm very excited to tell you guys about the new digital media lab at the main branch. So in this media lab, there are tons of different things that you can do here. You can record podcasts or even videos. Behind me, you can see a setup for recording equipment where you can record music and even music videos with things like keyboards and even guitars. You can also touch up digital photos for those aspiring photographers out there, and you can even film your own video like I'm doing now for those aspiring YouTubers out there. So all of this can be done at the main branch. Scott is our new digital media coordinator, and you can book a meeting with him to come in and record anything that you can dream up. Okay, so now that I've introduced to you this new setting and the digital media lab at the main branch, let's go ahead and get started with our book talk for today. Today, I'm going to be talking about more books in our 6th through 8th grade and 9th through 12th grade lyric and literature lists for this year. So as I've been doing several videos before, we're continuing on with that. And today I don't have a particular theme like I normally do, but I'm just going to bring you some more of the books that you can read throughout the next couple of months. You can vote on them starting in January at the Denham Springs branch and the main branch. So let's get started. So the first book I have for you today is on the 6th through 8th grade Louisiana Young Reader's Choice list. It is called Storm Blown by Nick Courage. Okay, so this first book I have for you today is set during a major hurricane, which all of us can relate to, that is raging across the southern United States, and to us unsuspecting kids are going to have an adventure of a lifetime. A little rain and a little wind, don't worry, Alejo, because it's just a part of life at the beach. But when people start evacuating, Alejo realizes that things might be worse than they thought. A hurricane is headed straight for Puerto Rico, where he lives. Emily's brother, Elliot, has been really sick, and he cannot go outside in their New Orleans hometown, so Emily decides to have an adventure for him. She secretly decides to go on a mission to a tiny island that Elliot loves. But nothing has prepared her for Megastorm Valerie. And soon, Alejo and Emily will be in the fight of their lives as they try to survive Valerie's deadly path. All right, so this next book is another book on the 6th through 8th grade Louisiana Young Reader's Choice list. This is called The Remarkable Journey of Coyote Sunrise by Dan Gemeinhart. 5 years. That's how long Coyote and her dad, Rodeo, have lived on the road in an old school bus crisscrossing the nation. It's also how long Coyote has gone without her mom and her sisters that she lost in a car wreck. And Coyote hasn't been home in all of that time. But when she learns that the park in her neighborhood is being demolished, the same park that her and her sisters and her mother buried an old memory box in, she devises an elaborate plan to get her dad to drive back to their home state of Washington in 4 days across the whole country. And along the way, they will pick up a strange crew of misfit travelers. They'll have Lester has a specific person that he is wanting to meet. Salvador and his mom need a place to start over. Val needs a safe place to be herself. And then there's Gladys. So over the course of 1,000 miles, Coyote will learn that going home can sometimes be the hardest journey of all. And that with friends by her side, she just might be able to turn her once upon a time into happily ever after. All right, so the next book that I have for you is on the 9th through 12th grade Louisiana Teen Reader's Choice list. And this is called Sleigh by Brittany Morris. So by day, our main character, 17-year-old Kira Johnson, is an honor student, a math tutor, and one of the only Black kids at Jefferson Academy. But by night, she joins hundreds of Black gamers as they all join together in a worldwide duel as Nubian personas on an online role-playing card game called Sleigh. But no one knows that Kira is actually the game developer of Sleigh, not her friends, her family, or her boyfriend, Malcolm, who actually thinks video games are responsible for the downfall of society. But when a teen is murdered in Kansas over a dispute in the Sleigh world, news of the game suddenly reaches mainstream medium, and the game is now labeled as exclusionist, violent, and people want it taken down. And even worse, an anonymous troll infiltrates Sleigh and starts threatening Kira. But driven to save the only world that Kira feels like she can be herself, she must preserve her identity and harness what it means to be unapologetically herself in a world that is intimidated by blackness. But can she protect her game without losing herself in the process? Okay, so this last book for you today is actually a graphic novel memoir, and it is written by a famous Star Trek actor that you may know. This is called They Called Us Enemy by George Takei. So long before George Takei braved new frontiers in Star Trek, he woke up as a 4-year-old boy to find that his home country was at war with his father's country, and their entire family was forced into an unknown future. In 1942, at the order of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, every person of Japanese descent on the West Coast was rounded up and sent to a relocation center, hundreds of thousands of miles from their home, where they would be held for years under armed guard. So in They Called Us Enemy is essentially a first-hand account of Takei's years behind bars. And it talks about his joys and his terrors growing up during this time, his mother's hard choices, and his father's belief in democracy. And it also shows all of the ways that those experiences paved the way for his astonishing future. Okay, so that is it for the books from the 6th through 8th grade and 9th through 12th grade lyric and literature lists. If you like this video, keep watching. I'll be doing more videos throughout the next couple of months. And if you read them, you can vote on your favorites at the Denham Springs branch and the main branch starting in January. And in March, they will pick a winner and you can see if your favorites won. And that is it today in the new Digital Media Lab. Stay tuned. You may see me in here more often, or if you want to check it out, come to the main branch in Livingston. Come see Scott, our digital media coordinator, and he can show you around, and maybe you can record a video yourself, or even a music video or a podcast, anything you can dream up. And until next time, happy reading.